Your love is like radiant diamonds bursting inside us, we cannot contain.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Faith and Family. And today is Holy Thursday. It is Thursday in Holy Week, otherwise known as Holy Thursday. We are in the Triduum, those 3 holy days of the year, the 3 days before Easter happens. And if you watched yesterday, you may remember that we talked about what happened on Holy Thursday, and that was when Jesus was gathered with his disciples to eat the Passover feast, and he washed their feet, and then they also had the Last Supper. And we talked about how that's sometimes referred to or called the institution of the Eucharist. And the Eucharist is Jesus's body, and we receive that during Mass, and it starts as bread and wine. And then the priest says the Eucharistic prayer and blesses it. And then it turns into Jesus's body and his blood. And then we get to receive it at Mass. So today's activity is really fun. You're going to go to the website, to the Faith Formation tab, and you're going to print off 2 pieces of paper. It's going to be 1 picture, but they're going to print off in 2 pieces of paper. And it's going to look really confusing at first. I went ahead and colored mine. Here's the first page. I know it looks crazy. And here's the second page. So print them off, and it's actually a color by number. So there's going to be a little key right up here, and it says if the area has a number 1, you're going to color it red. If the area has a number 2, you're going to color it orange. If it has a number 3, you're going to color it yellow, 4 blue, 5 peach, and 6 brown. So it'll tell you what colors to color the different shapes, because it's kind of hard to see what it is. So when you're all done coloring all the areas, you fill them all the way in, you're going to go ahead and cut out the rectangle on both sheets. And then on this one, it says put glue here to attach the sides together. So you're going to cut out this rectangle as well. And then where these little words are right here, you're going to put some glue and glue the 2 pieces together. And I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I have cut along all of the borders, and then I went ahead and glued the 2 pieces together. So it looks like this. Still a little crazy looking. But what we're going to do now is you're going to fold it like what's called accordion style. Kind of like when you make a fan and you fold under and then over and then under and then over, back and forth. But you're going to be sure to fold on the lines that you see, okay? So go ahead, and I'm going to fold mine so you'll see how it looks.
Your love will surely come find us like blazing wildfire, singing your name. God of mercy, see love of mine.
Okay, so I got all my folding done. It's all tiny and folded, so it kind of looks like a fan, like that. And now when I open it and I go like this, if I look at it from this way, you see a monstrance with the Eucharist inside. So if you've ever been to adoration in the church and you've seen the Eucharist inside, this big gold thing that kind of looks like a star is called a monstrance. And it's just a case that holds the Eucharist during adoration when people are praying. But then if you hold it this way, ta-da, we see Jesus's face. So this is a really good reminder that even though the Eucharist looks like bread, it's really Jesus. And it's just in the way you look at it. Very cool. All right, my friends, we're going to read a little bit more from our Bible today. We are going to hear about what happens on Good Friday, which is tomorrow. Jesus and his disciples went into a garden on the mountain of Olives. Jesus walked into a grove of olive trees to pray. The others lay down on the ground and went to sleep. They just could not keep their eyes open. When Jesus came back, he called to his disciples, "Get up, let's go. The time is here for me to be taken away." Just then they heard footsteps. A gang of men with clubs and swords came into the garden. Judas Iscariot was with them. He pointed out Jesus by greeting him with a kiss. The men grabbed Jesus and took him away to jail. One man gave Judas a bag filled with 30 pieces of silver. That was his payment for helping them catch Jesus. So after the Last Supper, they went into this garden so Jesus could pray. And that's where he was arrested. In the morning, Jesus was taken before the Roman governor Pontius Pilate. Jesus' enemies told the governor, "This man says he is the king of the Jews. He is making people turn against the emperor. He should be put to death." Pilate asked Jesus, "What do you have to say for yourself? Are you guilty?" Jesus did not say anything. The governor was amazed that Jesus did not defend himself. At last, he let his soldiers take Jesus away. The soldiers put a red robe on Jesus and a crown of thorns. They made fun of the king. Then they took the robe off and beat him with whips. They took him to a place called Golgotha. There they nailed him to a cross. This was how the Romans punished people who had committed very bad crimes. At noon, the sky turned dark and stayed that way until 3 o'clock. At that time, Jesus cried out, "Father, I put myself in your hands." Then he died. A crowd of Jesus' friends were watching everything from a distance. After they had seen the terrible sight, they felt heartbroken and went home. All right, my friends. So that's what happens on Good Friday, tomorrow. And it's a little strange to think about why we call it Good Friday, because that's a really sad story. They were beating Jesus and making fun of him, and then they killed him. But I think the reason why we call it Good Friday and not Sad Friday or Bad Friday is because we remember why Jesus did all of that. Jesus was the Son of God. He didn't have to do all of that. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to let the people hurt him or make fun of him, but he did it for a reason. And he did it for us. He did it because he loved us so much. He died for our sins. And so that is why we call it Good Friday. So tomorrow is going to be a special day. And we're actually going to have our video go up a little earlier tomorrow. It won't go up at the usual time at 2 o'clock. Just because we're going to try and remember to have those hours, like they talked about in the story, between noon and 3, be times of prayer and just a really calm time to think about what Jesus did. And so we'll post our video a little earlier in the day. We're still going to post one, but I want you to think about what Jesus did and how much he loved you on Good Friday, on tomorrow. But we will be back. We'll have another video. We'll have another activity. And it's a really, really fun one. We're going to be back in the kitchen getting a little messy. So we'll see you then. And I hope you have a very wonderful Holy Thursday. And it's almost Sunday. We're almost to Easter. We'll see you tomorrow.